Naku, Jare. Sige ako sa net kaya yaw. Napiyay. Mare.
Churachan Puri, which Churachan Maharaj with it.
Churachan Maharaj. I see the Yamatin.
Mamatan, the moment when you don't come.
Maduna Suratan the Maming Ton, this is you Yama Nungshiba, Yama Nungai Bumle. I know some 10 level. Say Suratan, she could into Suratan, Toilet and proposed over, not the Kanawunu proposed over internet. Man, I mean to a lock and or to propose not the Hajeli. Maming could get some peak of what kUKI into wider. Amagi Lamzida could get so can Sogli Singamaga, Jamapan, Taramapan, Kun Adida. Adida could English keep British ma English keep officers na sub-divisional officer Weraga. Matamda Manipur, Kogi Kanoma Hangwe. Southwest sub-divisional headquarters. Kogi administrative unit of Hangwe, Yana, British Kimatam. Other Hangoga, Tobida, Puziki Ningto kUKI Ningto. Masina Yana proposal. Masi headquarters ki maming se Yaragati Manipur in Toginda Tondi and a man proposal. Mosiki account to Matungin. I do Matung British officers Yare, Yadan Gazette the program Munti Suratan Pur in the city for the.
उनको अरेस्ट कराने के लिए जब तक हम कोई कार्रवाई नहीं कर पाते, मणिपुर का कुछ भला नहीं हो सकता। मैं ये बात दावे और गारंटी से कह रहा हूं। ही इज द मेन मास्टरमाइंड, मिस्टर अमित शाह। वो वहां जाके बैठे ही इसलिए थे कि उन्होंने ये सब प्लानिंग करनी थी कि सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है या नहीं। वरना भारत के होम मिनिस्टर में इतनी ताकत होती है, चेयर में, चाहे कोई डफर भी बैठ जाए उस पे। अमित शाह साहब की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, ये डफर वर्ड उनके लिए इस्तेमाल नहीं किया मैंने। अगर कोई डफर भी बैठ जाए, भारत के होम मिनिस्टर की चेयर में इतनी ताकत होती है कि सब शांति वहां पे एक दिन में हो जाए। लेकिन जो होम मिनिस्टर वहां अपनी प्लानिंग ही करने गया था, इंप्लीमेंटेशन देखने गया था गुजरात मॉडल की, वो उससे क्या उम्मीद करते हो? आज तक किसी आदमी ने यह बोला है कि अमित शाह इज द मेन।
Operations of the Indian Army continues hindered, and empty infrastructure continues to be burnt to ground. And third, the police in itself is failing to save and retain its armory, arms and ammunition. Why is that happening?
So that's what I'm saying. The biggest issue, somebody tells me now, the biggest issue in front of the country is these looted arms and ammunition. We have got ample inputs from army sources that these arms and ammunition have already fallen into the hands of the valley-based groups.
Okay.
Now, what are these valley-based groups? So, valley-based groups are the groups. You have UNLF, you have PLA, you have PREPAC, you have KCP, you have KYKL, one of the most deadliest ones. They are the ones who have waged the war against India for last so many years, so many decades. They are the ones who have been fighting against us. They are the ones who have recently they executed an ambush where Colonel Biplav Tripathi was killed. Prior to that, there was an ambush on 6 Jogra where so many people were killed, after which India has to undertake surgical strikes. So these were all undertaken by the valley-based groups. And predominantly these valley-based groups are made up of Meiteis community.
I'm sorry, I made some questions for you. You know, this is like the prep.
Yeah, please.
You know,
please.
The sort of aggression which Indian Army has demonstrated in Kashmir in terms of giving an answer to the terrorists there. You recall that thing? बांध दिया था जब स्टोन पेल्टिंग हो रही थी।
yes.
उस तरह का एग्रेशन क्यों नहीं डेमोन्स्ट्रेट हो रहा है सो दैट द पीस कैन प्रिवेल इन मणिपुर? उस तरह का इट्स अ क्वेश्चन। इट्स नॉट आई एम नॉट प्रोबिंग कि ये क्यों हो रहा है, क्यों नहीं हो रहा। इट्स एविडेंट, इट्स देयर। आई एम आस्किंग यू अ क्वेश्चन।
So I spoke to one of the senior commander in Manipur. I said, why are you not acting in the area? Why you are not catching the militants? Why are you not acting the way you should earlier? He said, sir, there is a thin red line between a commendation and a punishment. We are operating in an area where there is no Armed Forces Special Power Act. There is no Armed Forces Special Power Act. We cannot work independently. We have to work under a lot of compulsions. You go and arrest somebody, you go and kill somebody, or you go and carry out a search. There are high chances that there may be an FIR against you only. Because at present what is happening is the Manipur police and all these aggressive groups, all these so-called militia groups like Arambai, Tengol and Meiteis Lipun, they are operating hand in gloves. And 413 arms from Vishnupur which were looted.
Has that ever happened in Kashmir?
No. See, if you attack any of the police force, try to take on their army, they are supposed to fire. Here not even a single bullet was fired. Not even a sling lathi charge was made. Nobody was injured. See, if somebody is charging at an armory, they should injure the guard. Not even a single guard is injured. Nothing happened. It was just like a clean sweep operation where people came, looted all the arms and went off.
Yes, Karthik, when the 10 MLAs, the kUKI जो 10 MLAs says the valley of death, because Imphal Valley has become a valley of death, the entire world hardly believe it. And today we have seen the stark reality that is happening in Imphal Valley. Now, in spite, as you rightly mentioned, in spite of the high security deployment in the Imphal Valley, houses are being burned down. Now, you were saying there were more than 3 houses of the kUKI community burned down. And forget about that one, the ex-MP of Manipur, Uthang Baike, his house in Lamphel Park was also burned down just days before. And at the same time, imagine in such kind of situation when the security fail to provide security and safety to the buildings, how would they provide security to the kUKI MLAs, whom they expect them to be present in the assembly? Now, I'm going to tell you, we don't want to be separated from Manipur. The kUKI never wants to be separated from Manipur because since time immemorial, our forefather contributed a lot towards Manipur's cause, Manipur welfare. but I'm going to tell you very honestly and truthfully, we are forced to separate from Manipur. Now, when we said we are forced, everything was well planned, well engineered, and well orchestrated. And I have already said in the last talk show how the sequences of events are taking place just before the outbreak of this violence on 3rd May. I have already said the gun license were collected from the kUKI dominated area, and the Armed Force Special Power Act was removed from the valley area, and also like the houses, the quarters, the churches of kUKI community were marked with colors. And when the outbreak happens, the houses of the kUKI community were selectively targeted. And then imagine the Manipur University, the university which has to be protected, safe, and which is also known as the place of learning itself was targeted when the rooms of the kUKI girls and boys were selectively targeted, and those hostelers who are in the hostel are pulled out and beaten. So now the whole sequences of events, look at that. And now, even in spite of that, when Chief Minister and Biren Singh assure and even tell the world that there is normalcy already, I think he must stop lying to the world. Now, he couldn't even control the Meiteis community in spite of high security deployment. How do he expect our kUKI MLAs to come and attend the assembly? At the same time, as the Congress party was rightly saying, what would you do in just one day? We must be serious in democracy. Democracy, there should be enough space, enough time to air your grievances. In just one day, what are you going to do? Are you trying to just simply trying to hook us to the entire world, saying that normalcy has come back, assembly is being convened, and then assembly is going? I think that will never work. It's high time that the government takes serious, and at the same time, since I have already rightly said, we are forced to separate. We are kicked out from the valley. So for us, there's no option, there's no choice. And when we are saying separate administration, I would tell you very straightforward. When we are saying separate administration, we are trying to save India from secessionists. Remember, there are high number of secessionists from the valley who are trying to break away from India,